The Marine Corps War Memorial in the foreground. No shortage of magnificent structures here in Washington, D.C. It's the home of the Wizards here in Washington, D.C. as 2K Sports brings you today's action live from the Verizon Center. The Washington Wizards come into this one after their win against the Warriors in Oakland. And, of course, that game going to overtime, a very exciting finish there, but they stayed strong to the end and pulled it off.
And you could see it in that game, despite the odds against them. Once it got to OT, they had the belief that they could get it done.
And, Steve, that's what happens a lot of time when the supposed underdog gets the game into overtime. Momentum swings their way.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And so in the game for the Pacers. Paul George is the 3 with David West at the 4. C.J. Miles is out there with Watson, and it's Mahinmi in at the 5, roaming the paint.
Nene, I think, an underrated defensive player. Not a big shot blocker, but he has tremendous size and strength, and he can move laterally. So he can really move and cover the pick and roll and switch on to guards, an effective defender.
Here is Miles. Henderson defending, and it's Miles missing. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line.
The Wizards shooting their first free throws here for the night.
Henderson. 2 shots.
No good on that one. So he comes up empty at the line. Wizards on D. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Earlier I spoke with Frank Vogel. We went over the matchups in tonight's game, and when we came to Nene, he told me, now there's a player. You just don't find big men with that kind of body who's that light on his feet. I don't know if it's his soccer background, but the way he moves, it's awfully tough to stay between him and the iron. Guys, that's the goal, but we'll see if they're able to make it happen. Back to you.
And thank you for that, Doris. Wall gets a screen from Henderson. Wall, that's good.
Well, he's off to a good start, and he's a guy who we know. I mean, if he gets going early, he can give you problems all day.
The Pacers have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. And Miles kicks to Watson. West a screen on Wall. Watson dishes to West. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
The first bucket for this offense, 1 of 4 to start the game.
Wizards have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for it to start off this game. Wall attacking. Here's Henderson. That one off the back iron and out.
Yeah, that's a low percentage shot right there.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, he's got to be thinking out there a little better. Make the pass in that situation. Don't force a bad shot.
A well-timed shot fake got the defender off the ground right there.
Could be the first of many mid-range jump shots we see from him today.
It's Wall with the drive. Comes up empty down low.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Here's Watson, and again it's Indiana converting.
Risky shot there. Size-wise, I mean, he easily comes out on the short end of the stick, so to speak.
With the nice high release, he had no problem getting it off and knocking it down.
Now here's Henderson. 17 points for him last game against Golden State. And good, coming off the assist by Wall. Henderson's got his first points in this one.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
Here's Watson. Rebound, Washington. The Pacers beat them last time when these 2 teams met in Indiana.
Kevin, that game defensively was an absolute nightmare. They went into that building and just got blown out by a very hot team.
Well, they didn't defend those shooters like they should have, and once the fans got into it and the arena started rocking and thumping and bumping, things only got worse.
Here is Miles after Paul Pierce's score. Outside for George. Offline with his 3. Wizards leading by 4. outside Wall. Henderson passes to Nene. Can't cash in from close range. David West, kind of an old school mold for big men guys. He's tough. Clark, you saw this, incredibly physical. Steve with a great IQ for the game.
Yeah, kind of like the Davis brothers of those 90 Pacers teams. Dale and Antonio, just physically dominant. He would fit right in with those guys.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter.
And West, like the rest of the Pacers, is committed to the defensive end of the floor. As a matter of fact, he's much like a linebacker in football, calling signals, communicating the guys out in front of him, making sure guys are in the right spot. He guards his position and has really brought an element of some professionalism to the Pacers that's rubbed off on the entire team.
And West uses his strength well inside, boxes out every time, uses that 7'4" wingspan. He plays a lot bigger than people realize.
Money's check in for Washington. Good on the shot. 59 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Now the pass to Copeland. Dishes it to George. Pass to Copeland. Back to George. Shot clock at 6. And it's Humphries with the rebound.
That's kind of a shocker. The defense was there, but it wasn't right in his face. Kind of out of character for him to miss those.
Henderson kicks to Serafin. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Serafin's got his first basket of the night. Pacers trail by 5. There's 18 seconds left in the first. And that one's good.
See the way he times his passes so well? It's a great assist.
Here is Miller. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Henderson with it. Humphries kicks to Miller. With 1 on the clock. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. Wizards lead by 3. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center.
Coming up this Friday, March 27th, Al Jefferson and the Charlotte Hornets take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards. Be there.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Wizards?
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.